Story 1. People who are social outcasts or don't fit in. I've never understood the idea of social proof to begin with, honestly. Receiving a lot of attention or having many friends doesn't mean that you're a better person or partner. All it means is that you either have good social skills or have something that people want, or at least you act like you have something people want. Story 2. Shyness, I guess. Everyone always says you need to be confident to be attractive, but I don't know. It never mattered to me if someone is socially inept. I find them more genuine and relatable. Story 3. Girls who can talk your ear off. I'm not much of a talker, as I'm a former nonverbal autistic person, but I'm a great listener. I could listen to them for hours and not get annoyed at all. I find it amazing that they can make me so genuinely invested in a conversation even if I'm barely able to say anything other than occasional full sentences and mostly 1 to 3 word responses. Edit. Rest in peace to my direct messages. I should have added in person to the comment. Holding multiple conversations over text just stresses me out. Sorry. Story 4. Genuine laughter. Some people think loud or awkward laughter is unattractive, but I find it incredibly endearing because it shows someone's real personality and happiness. Story 5. Nerdy men. Like a true nerd, passionate about their awesome hobby that only nerds have. Laugh out loud. I didn't want to list any of said hobbies as to not offend anyone. Story 6. Not unattractive, but for whatever reason, if you are a girl and you wear prescription glasses with red frames, I will fall in love with you, like romantically. And I have no idea where it comes from. Story 7. I love a big nose on a woman. I don't really see Lady Gaga sexually, but Stefani has a wonderfully prominent snout. Ditto for Cher. She was sexy as well into her 60s. I also love freckles. To me, there's no such thing as too many. I think it's cool as well. Story 8. Scars. It is impossible to be boring if you have a scar because every scar has a story. They also add a natural form of uniqueness to a person's appearance. Story 9. I love this thread, and I feel embarrassed, but I'll share mine. Hopefully, some people can feel good about the traits I find beautiful in them. I find it cute when people have a slight overbite, the kind that keeps their mouth slightly open. To me, it gives them a kind of Brigitte Bardot look. People who fall into that nerdy or gamer stereotype. Glasses, extensive academic knowledge, and oddly specific obsessions and hobbies. Acne scars look cute to me. They're like freckles when they draw attention to a face I find beautiful. Not fully hairy, but slightly grown-out body hair on both men and women. Kind of scrawny or slightly chubby men that aren't very muscular. The infamous skinny fat body type is actually super hot to me. I love stretch marks. Like acne scars, they give texture to the skin, and I find them beautiful. I actually started seeing my own stretch marks in a different light after my partner at the time pointed out how much he adored them. Small boobs deserve more appreciation. For context, I am a woman who finds herself looking both ways. Story 10. Dad bods. The 0% body fat thing just does nothing for me. I like strength, don't get me wrong, but for whatever reason, the strength under a layer of fat does something for me. Story 11. I was going through the comments hoping to see someone mention a little arm hair is okay. My cousin makes me feel terrible because I have a little, and she doesn't. Honestly, she just brings it up out of nowhere, and it's annoying. Story 12. Big noses, tooth gaps, essentially little things people might see as an imperfection, like Joaquin Phoenix's upper lip. I love stuff like that. A scar on the face, toothy smiles, the list goes on. Story 13. Eyebrow ridges. Essentially, whenever someone clearly possesses a greater than average amount of Neanderthal DNA. The first time I encountered someone like that was before I had learned anything about the history of human evolution. So, my reaction was somewhat like, that's not human. I don't know what that is, but I certainly want to find out. Story 14, going to sound odd, but I like guys who are somewhat pathetic. Like they are all put together, but they are not. I do not know. I guess I like it when they are traumatized, but still trying to get better. I do not know how to explain it. Story 15, a true lack of a social filter. Not like, laughing my ass off, I'm so edgy. I just don't have a filter. Like legitimate neurodivergence. does not comprehend and therefore generally disregards social convention. Social conventions they do respect are held rigidly and generally easy to understand and deal with when not overtly harmful. This is very specific and also very noteworthy. Story 16, Fat Girls. There is a surprising amount of support for big men but not for big women on here for some reason. I find both to be extremely attractive and not in the conventional curvy way either. Story 17, Slim Physiques in Men. Many traits typically associated with femininity present in men. Fuller-figured women. For some, the presence of cellulite on women is viewed positively. Being reserved or having autism, this isn't about fetishizing, but rather I find certain traits that are common to be relatable and appreciate the authenticity that comes with it in my experience. Story 18. I've been with my wife since high school for 17 years, married for 7. Honestly, every phase of her, through all of our youth, when she was pregnant with our kids, and now her few gray hairs, laugh lines, and wrinkles on her face. I feel like it's just a testament to everything she's accomplished and our life together. She's really great. Story 19. Balding men, especially ones who wear a hat all the time, but when they take the hat off for a second and I get a quick peek at their crown balding, I find it so attractive for some reason. Story 20. Men with feminine hips and thighs. I hear guys, especially otherwise skinny guys, worrying about this, and it's just wild to me. I love the way jeans sit on curvy hips, and thighs just make me want to straddle them. Story 21. This post has single-handedly increased my potentially short-term self-esteem, my self-confidence, and has made me feel happier overall with how I look, who I am, my flaws, and my shortcomings. I feel better in my skin. Thank you so much for your contributions, everybody, your opinions, and your tastes. Story 22. I have a huge thing for people who ask the same question that has been posted, in some variation, 5 times over the last 24 hours. So I have the hots for you. Story 23. Guys who aren't completely 100% masculine, like those who can wear makeup, paint their nails, and partake in activities that are typically considered feminine without worrying about being seen as less of a man. Or if they don't have a muscular body type. Story 24. I was eating lunch one day. A couple of tables over, there was a woman with long hair who casually tied it up into a messy bun and shoved a pencil into it so that it would stay in place. Just nonchalant about it all while she talked with her friend. I fully admit to being mesmerized watching her do it. How do you women do that? Do they teach you that in girl school or something? Also, a smart woman with a throaty voice, a la Kathleen Turner. Dear God, ma'am, can you read the first 10 pages of this phone book? Please? Story 25. Dad bods. I couldn't explain it. I just love a dad bod. Always have. But the people who have dad bods are way too old for me, so I have to wait until I am older to date a guy I am actually attracted to. Story 26. I don't know if this counts, but I've seen or heard comments about people finding gingers not attractive, which confuses me because every time I see one, I feel like I'm gonna spontaneously combust from the fiery lust ginger men cause in me. So hot. The redder the better. Story 27. When girls are overweight, society should do much better for people who are overweight. They are dehumanized so often. It's depressing. Like, you don't need to find people who are overweight attractive, but you shouldn't treat them like less of a person either. Story 28. I love fat guys. Putting your arms around someone and having them really properly fill up your embrace is just the dream. I am all about cuddles, and it just does not get any better than with a big soft guy. Story 29. I'm unable to fulfill this request. Story 30. A hair lip on a man, bonus points for the downward pointing nose and slightly flared nostrils that can accompany it sometimes. I'm convinced my soul mate will have this. Story 31. Slightly cleft lips, larger noses, slightly crooked teeth. Think of the musician Jewel. Bald women, chunky guys, men with a feminine side that still identify as male. There is so much beauty in diversity. I have never been into cookie-cutter standard beauty. That has not been an intentional choice. It's just the way I am wired. This has been a fun post to read. Story 32. Lazy, slob-type girls. like a stained shirt for 3 days. Chubby, fat girls mostly just love girls that enjoy eating. Size doesn't really matter. And talkative girls, the type that doesn't shut up so I can listen, but also actually lets you talk from time to time and actually listens as well.